Well, I have muted everyone, so yes, that is why I was waiting. So, my friends, welcome again to Who Am I? Intellectually, we have understood that I am pure consciousness, which is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. But experientially, we are too far, and that is why we are in a session. Even after realizing it is good to continue the journey with the teacher so that we start having new experiences which settles us into the real self. Think, let us start our journey. If I am not in peace, then happiness is not possible. Think. And if peace and happiness are not there, then love is not possible. Have you seen people? They are crying, I love you, and I love you so much, and then they start shedding their tears. They are not in peace. How can they love? Think. It is purely an emotional blackmail, or you can say the emotional dependence. Think. You have to think. So if you don't think, then the non thinking takes you to ignorance, and ignorance causes the suffering. So again, I'm repeating where I said if peace is not there, if I'm not in peace, then happiness is not possible. Some people attend the session in a hurry, so they are not in peace. They are not in peace. So, if peace and happiness are not there, love is not possible. We do not say, do you say, oh, I'm in pain and I love you? Do you say that? Do you ever say that? Oh, I'm in pain and I love you. Oh, wait for a second. Let me be happy. Do you say that? Wait for a second. Wait for a second. Let me be happy and then I love you. All that comes when we are aware. Aware means I know what peace, happiness, love is. I know, I feel, and I'm aware. This is what the real self is. This is what the real self is. This is what the real self is. So you might remember the metaphor given to us by this great master. He says there is an infinite space, the endless space that contains all the galaxies in the universe, many universe, all contained in this space, no limit, no limit, no boundaries to this space. The pervasive space that exists both within and without all manifestation, it is the pure consciousness. It is like the night sky stretches endlessly above the earth containing all the stars and galaxies. Our planet appears as tiny dot against the infinite space. The space has no boundary. Think and just become aware. The same room, I was just talking to Ashok, same room, it is the same room, surrounds the happy family as well as the grieving person. The space is the same. Joy and the sorrow appear contained within unchanged space. You cannot say in the room, here is a sorrow, here is a pain, here is a joy. It is that nature of the consciousness I am. I am means we are. The open awareness, open, if I use the word open awareness, hosting my thoughts right now is fundamentally unlimited. That open awareness is unlimited. It is hosting few thoughts. In this session, then I will have another session. I will host another series of the thoughts from another text. Then another session. But that awareness never changes. That is the nature of I am. Think. In that field of awareness, you have a beard guy and you have other guys also present without beard. At least we have only two now without beard, Terry and Brandy. In that field of awareness. That is the nature of I am. But then what happened? That is the second set of the metaphor, the space within the pot, enclosed space, the finite space contained within a clay pot. And that clay pot is the body-mind complex. The walls of the pot limit, the walls of the body limit and enclose that consciousness within. What a beautiful metaphor. More and more you think about it and you will realize, oh, it is so easy. The space inside one's body hosts what it hosts. It hosts your body, physiological, biochemical, neurological functions, the mind and the energy, and pain and the sorrow. It is hosting only. So we are not looking at the host, we are looking at the guest, and that is why we feel we are an individual consciousness limited, and that is why I am suffering. Are you getting it? Say yes. Even if you don't get it, so you can. Emptiness inside the clay pot could not contain the vast sky, only what the walls allow, what the body allows. That consciousness makes this body sentient, and that is why I'm speaking, larynx and hands, all these were working. Think, think, think. Think. A compressed gas inside a vessel creates a pressure, while outside is in equilibrium. The same gas is present. Compressed gas inside the vessel. So that consciousness finds itself unlimited. It creates a pressure, and that pressure is known as urge. And that urge is to discover peace and happiness, love and wisdom. And that is why we are together. I'm just presenting the same metaphor in a different way. Think. My urge, that urge comes from the consciousness, takes the shape of a thought and a desire, and then I start searching peace and happiness outside in a person, in an event, in a thing, and I continue the journey. That is the life. That is what we, the cycle of birth and the death. Here and now. You take that earth, original earth, of peace and happiness. Why I have an earth for peace and happiness? Because I am peace and happiness. Finished. So now you see the role of an individual. So the individual consciousness, the clay pot, and the infinite, the space inside the pot, and the infinite space. And now the third one causes the problem, the illusion, ignorance. What is that? Now in that pot space you put the water. I have told you a couple of times. You put the water, you put the tea. So it's a tea space, it's a water space, it's a vodka space. It's a wine space. It's a mud space. You may say anything, but that space is not polluted. That space remains unchanged. So with reference to the individual, with reference to the pot, that space is the real self. With reference to the universe, it is the supreme self, that is the God. But then what happened? Water space and tea space. I have a lot of stress. I have a lot of problem. I have to do this and do that. That is known as Jalakasha, the water space, this master says. Oh, I'm in a hurry, Space reflected in the surface of the mind, which creates the appearance of thoughts, emotions, memories. That water space is the thought, feeling, emotions, etc., etc., etc. Anxiety, duality, conflict, etc. The space reflected in the space reflected in the water. First you put the water, and now the space reflected in the water. The clear, what I can say, the clear night sky appears captured in a lake, a mere reflection. There is nothing there. Thoughts and emotions seem to fill my consciousness, but do not touch it. Do not touch it. The same space that is above reflects below the rippling water. No division in the basic, no division in the space. But I see the division in the space. When I see that water, consciousness hosts reflections without itself being divided or disturbed. That is what we are going to discuss. Manifestations appear within undivided totality. What is that manifestation? The pleasure, the pain, the sorrow, good and bad. But nothing happens to that pot space. And then the fourth one, the same thing at the macro level. The space within the clouds. So you have waters in the space, and then you have your own thoughts in the feeling. But in spite of that, that cloud space is also reflected in that water space. That cloud space is the world. We see it. We see that water. It's a fluffy cloud formations in the sky. What happens? You are in deep sleep. The world do not exist. Does the world exist? regular contemplation and reflection helps my mind to clear the impurities, and that transparent mind perceives the real self as it is. What is that? It's a pure consciousness. Pure consciousness. So this is what the metaphor is. So now let us go a little deeper. We were talking about the object of knowledge and the subject of knowledge. Object of knowledge and the subject of knowledge. Object of knowledge. Flower. Home. Stephen. Dennis. Are objects of knowledge for me. That is how my mind perceives. Tell me, is it knowledge of paper, flower, Stephen, Dennis? Are knowledge of all same or different? What I'm talking about? Are knowledge of all same or different? They are different. No doubt. Knowledge of an object is different. One object is different. Knowledge of second object is different. Knowledge of me is different. Knowledge of Stephen is different. Knowledge of computer is different. What is wrong? The master points out there is something wrong. Knowledge of an object. Why? I have to maintain awareness of all the time. When I live into that awareness, I could listen to your talk in a seashore too far in the sky. Nothing is going to happen. Everything should take place inside my head. So what is wrong? Knowledge of an object. What is wrong? Where knowledge is taking place, I'm taking you slowly. Where the knowledge is taking place, it is taking place in me. I know you. Knowledge is taking place in me. I know the screen. Knowledge is taking place in me. I know I'm giving a lesson. Knowledge is taking place in me. Knowledge of Stephen is taking place in me. Knowledge of Ashok is taking place in me. Knowledge of Dennis is taking place in me. It is the knowledge of the home, Stephen, computer, Terry. Oh, yes, yes. But the knowledge is taking place in me. Stick to this. Home is inert, computer is inert, sky is inert. Oh, what a beautiful. That is your mental imagination. Home is inert, everything is inert. So, wake up knowledge, food knowledge, sorrow knowledge, pain knowledge. One knowledge dies, another knowledge replaces. Knowledge of home means the knowledge of some object. So when I say I have a knowledge of the home, it means that knowledge is dependent on the home. Knowledge of the computer means the knowledge dependent on the computer. Knowledge of sky means the knowledge dependent on the sky. Then I'm a useless guy. Why I'm attending the session? No, I'm conscious of home. Home is not conscious of me. So where there is a consciousness, there is a knowledge. How simple it is. Is the knowledge in the mouse? No. I am conscious of the mouse. This mouse never says I'm conscious of you, guy. Weird guy. Don't hold me like this. hold me softly. Does the mouse say, hold me softly, touch me not? I will not work for you. I have to contemplate and reflect. We will remove all the doubts. This master removes all the doubts, all your queries and the questions in more than another 150 verses. That is the journey. So I'm conscious of the home. That consciousness which is me has become the property of home. How? Ignorance. That consciousness which is me has become the property of people, relations, events, conditions, pain, sorrow. And I'm gone. I'm suffering. That consciousness is the knowledge. I told you before. You have to bring all the threads together. You miss one thread, you will miss it. So that consciousness is the knowledge that become the property of the home. It cannot be. Not possible. Now I have a knowledge of the Stephen, Janice, Ashok, computer, screen, room, etc. No, not knowledge. It's a Stephen of knowledge. Knowledge of home is happening in the consciousness. But I experience it. Our experience is wrong and incomplete. I'll tell you. I'll prove it. Wait. The moment I say, I have an experience that you are sitting here, I'll prove it. It's wrong. Because knowledge of home is happening where? Where the consciousness is. And where is the consciousness? I'm conscious. So knowledge is happening here. I cannot say knowledge of anything. In that consciousness, there is a home, and there the knowledge of home. I'm using another word again. Pay attention. You have to pay attention to these phrases. There lies the secret. In that consciousness, there is a home. Or just the opposite? Can you say opposite? In that home, there is a consciousness? No. So why you are living in ignorance? In that consciousness, in that consciousness, in that consciousness, there is a home, there is a Stephen, there is a Dennis, there is a computer, and there is a home. And there is also a knowledge of the home, the object and the knowledge of an object. Where? In that consciousness. See that? Same consciousness is appearing through the home. Same consciousness is appearing as a mouse, through the mouse. Actually, it is the home of knowledge. It is the Stephen of knowledge. It is the Dennis of knowledge. It is the computer of knowledge. Actually, it is the home of knowledge. It is one consciousness appearing as object and object of knowledge. That is the conclusion this master draws. It is one consciousness appearing as object and object of knowledge. We need an extraordinary awareness. It will not happen. Oh, let me take a sip of coffee. I'm listening to you. So you have a knowledge of a coffee. You will fall into ignorance. I never say that, but it happens. It is one consciousness appearing as object and object of knowledge. There is consciousness. How can you say? Light is appearing in this room. Consciousness, it is one consciousness appearing as object and the object of knowledge. It is one light in this room appearing, mouse in the computer and the walls and the items. Nothing happens to the light. Nothing happens to the consciousness. There is light is pervading in the room. There is one hand that I see along with many other things in the room. It is the hand of light, not light of hand. Light is pervading this room. There is one hand. I see you. I cannot light. How can I rephrase it? Wait. Knowledge and consciousness are one, in which all objects are appearing. You have a mouse experience? We all have, no doubt. So experience of the mouse minus mouse, what is left? Consciousness and knowledge. Consciousness is knowledge. Experience of Stephen minus Stephen, what is left? Consciousness plus knowledge. Experience of the computer minus computer. Do you still exist? Whether you minus computer, whether you minus your experience, whether you plus experience. So that very existence is consciousness. Home experience minus home is consciousness. Body experience minus body, consciousness. I am consciousness, yes. Now reverse it. Look at the reasoning. Look at the understanding. Normally people say, oh, this is all cult and dogma and belief. You should have blind belief. No, you don't need any belief. Are you ready is the question. If you are not ready, then you can say any damn thing. Who cares? Consciousness plus knowledge of an object plus object is known as experience. And still there are 5 or 6 different layers, and it blows our mind. Mind says, yes, you are right, and you are awakened. But I'm taking only the first part of it. So what is that? Consciousness plus knowledge of Stephen plus object Stephen is my experience. That is what I say I know Stephen. I experienced it. I'm waiting. Let us go slowly. Without an object. Without an object. If I say Stephen minus knowledge is consciousness. Stephen minus knowledge of an object is consciousness. Mathematical equation. Experience is equal to 3 elements. Consciousness plus knowledge of an object plus object. So what will be your consciousness? Now consciousness is equal to experience minus knowledge of an object. That is my experience. Minus object. But the consciousness is not going anywhere. That consciousness I am. That consciousness I am. Without an object. We think experience of an object, but we have mixed up consciousness with an object. Our attention is on the object. Our attention is not on That consciousness. That is the greatest ignorance in our life, and that causes the miseries in our life. We have attention on many objects, so we have many experiences. But fact is, there is only one experience, that is consciousness. Fact is that there is only one consciousness. Because my attention is on the object, my attention is on the Ashok, so experience of an Ashok, experience of Terry, experiences. Hold on. Hold on, what you are saying. What is your experience? So your experience is equal to consciousness plus knowledge of an object plus an object. Okay, let me remove that knowledge of an object plus object. What remains is the consciousness. So I only experience consciousness. I don't experience any experience of any object. It is mistaken identity. It's a false assumption. Experience of an object. Because my attention remains outside, the mind always lives outside. That is why we say you have to move the mind within. We all the time we have an object-less experience. All the time. But we forcibly say, I experience pain, I experience sorrow, and I experience body. I am suffering. Where are you suffering? Suffering is an object. We are that consciousness. No, Terry is saying, I have a problem with the body. Body is an object. Knowledge of an object plus consciousness is your experience. You have a false assumption. Unnecessary. We are not worthy of suffering. Consciousness is one but appears many because of consciousness is objectified. I'm carefully using these words so that it should go inside your head and you should get absorbed into that. Here and now. You need not to practice meditation later. It is here and now. Why to practice? What is required? Don't shift your attention to the experience of an object. If you say that is the practice, yes, that is the practice. You don't shift your attention to the object. The moment you shifted your attention to the object, then you have an experience of object and the consciousness is hidden, no knowledge. Then the hidden consciousness, and then the mind comes in to exist, and mind says, I experience you. I experience pain, I experience body. There is only one experience. Consciousness alone is the reality. In that object, I have mixed up my impressions from the mind, so the impurity of the mind. It means that is what happens. The wake up, waking state. Waking is an object, knowledge of a waking up, plus consciousness. Sleeping, object is the sleep, plus consciousness. That consciousness remains the same in sleep, in waking up, in dream, in sorrow, in pain. That your mind reflects the water space. Now go back to the water space. There's no water space. There's only a pot space. I'm linking the metaphoric. Where is the water space? It's only the You have 20 feet by 20 feet living room, right? So it's a living 20 by 20 feet is the space of the living room. Living space. You have living space? Very good. Very good. You have a living space. Then what is left? Now you fill that space with lot of furniture and the couches and the painting. Does anything happen to the space? Nothing happens to that space. My false perception takes over. So that consciousness is the true subject, is the only subject. Subject means I am. Why I said true subject, true I am? Because I'm not stressed, I'm not suffering, I'm not in pain. When I say I'm in pain, I'm crazy. I'm not worthy of suffering. I picked up the knowledge of the pain plus pain as an object plus consciousness. I have an experience of it. There is only true subject, only one subject. What is that? Consciousness. Like a screen where the movie is projected. The screen remains unchanged while objects keep changing. Objects keep changing. Can you tell me any painful experience which took place 10 years ago still continues? Movie. It's a movie. It comes and goes. What comes and goes is not you. That is, look at it. Consciousness is like a screen on which the movie of life is projected. The screen remains unchanged witness while the objects keep changing. Because objects keep changing, so I say that I have variety of experiences. No, you have only one experience. How come? You are paying too much attention on the objects. Find out who you are. Don't try to find out what is an object, what is a mouse, what is the body. No, find out who you are. A movie screen allows the projection of an endless number of movies, different stories, characters, scenes change, but the screen remains the same. That is what is happening. Today I am in stress, tomorrow I have a lot of pleasure. Yesterday I lost money, and day after you can have, so you have your story of life. You can write an autobiography. It does not exist. That is false. Every autobiography is false. Autobiography, you're writing about the object. Only one consciousness is experienced. Have you seen any great masters have written their autobiography? Others have written, narrated their experiences to inspire people. Consciousness allows the projection of constantly changing objects, people, thoughts, sights, situations. The objects vary. Objects vary. Objects are different, no doubt. But the consciousness is steady. To know that consciousness is steady, to be absorbed into that all the time is what is known as the awakening. Same way, the consciousness remains unchanged by changing circumstances, joyful or sorrowful situations. Do not disturb the consciousness. Consciousness cannot be modified. Consciousness cannot change. So objects are superimposed. The mind returns and says, I experience this object, so I experience the change in the consciousness. Consciousness is not changing at all. Forget about it. Consciousness never changes. Consciousness exists before, after, during the presence of a mouse. What I said? Consciousness always continues to exist before, during, after an experience of the pain and discomfort or sorrow or pleasure. They are not me. For that, we need a higher level of purity of the mind. That purity of the mind, which is not going distracted, getting identified with the different objects and objective experiences, then only I can reach to that state. Yeah, to listen to it, it's okay. Continuous listening also purifies your mind. Last one, ignorance of our true nature as consciousness. Why? Because we are habituated to identify with the body mind complex and mistake it as our real self, which is basically a false I. Confusing capabilities of the consciousness as that of the objects is another blunder that we do always in our life. And that causes the ignorance, and ignorance causes the suffering. Eyes are closed, and let us see. What to see? Just remember the principle. Simple principle, my friends. Experience is equal to consciousness is equal to mathematical formula is equal to consciousness plus knowledge of an object plus object. I believe you got it. Just remember this. Experience is equal to, again I'm remembering, your listening to me is your experience. Clear? So just maintain your awareness. What awareness I have to maintain? What you are talking about. So knowledge of what is that? The words are an object. Knowledge of those words plus consciousness is your experience of my listening to you. Or you're listening to me. Are you clear? Yes, I'm clear. So now, mathematical equation. What is consciousness? We need to find out. So consciousness means what? Consciousness is equal to experience minus experience of the knowledge of an object. Experience of an object. So you are shifting your attention. What is left is the consciousness. See that? Just see and clear. I have to say nothing, but still I need to say because any thought occurs in the mind, which is the surface layer of the consciousness, that needs to be recognized. Again, I can say that way. Any thought comes, any movement takes place in the body, yawning takes place. Yawning is an object. Knowledge of the yawning plus consciousness is your experience. We have understood experience is equal to consciousness is important. Consciousness or knowledge, both are together, plus the knowledge of an object, plus the object. If the object is not there, how can you have a knowledge of an object? Mathematical equation. And now I have to see where I am. So there the consciousness is there I am, knowingly or unknowingly. Are you clear? I am not an object. I can never be an object. So when I say I experience, so when I said you, experience is equal to any thought comes. So some voice comes, some thought comes. No, I experience this thought. That I is consciousness. But by mistake, it says object is me and it is my experience. Nothing to be done. Like the traffic on the road, the truck has come and gone, sedan has come and gone, SUV has come and gone, the trailer has come and gone, the bicycle has come and gone. I am as I am. Now translating into your personal experiences. Thought, so knowledge of that thought. And what is the object of that sorrow? Has come and gone. Thought, I am man, plus an object man, has come and gone. I am woman, object, knowledge of an object has come and gone. What remains undisturbed is you, and that you is neither the body nor mind, intellect, thought, feeling, emotion, sorrow, pain, and affliction. You are only one consciousness that has not changed since the start of the session until now. How can you attend which does not change? What practice you can do which never changes? Because practice means the change. I believe you are becoming aware of that. Practice means at present I am in stress, and after the practice I will not be in stress. So you are objectifying your experience. You are talking about the object and the knowledge of an object. You are still focused on that objectivity. You are not shifting your attention on the awareness on the consciousness that you are. So those people who cannot understand, we say, yes, without practice nothing can be achieved. Awakening cannot take place without practice. So obviously we take you to lot of practices. Reflect on the space inside your house will continue to be the same or different. Now I've changed the color of the wall. Yes, you have changed the color of the wall in your house, but you did not do anything to the space. Now my room looks fully packed. Come on, the space does not change. That is what the master is saying, the pot space does not change. So I take my experience with a reference to an object. And that object in the room may be a big TV or a lot of couches and the chairs and the computer, and every room is full. Can room be ever full? Never. I have recognized that space. Now room is always full. I have not recognized the space. So instead I shifted my attention and I said, I have variety of experiences. No, there is only one experience. That is consciousness. So that analogy, that very space, yes, the space remains the same, it is constant, it is unchanging. The objects, colors, things, articles, we can move here and there. They keep on changing. It means that the space, consciousness, plus the knowledge of an object, plus an object is my experience. That is what I'm saying. Recognition. What I say? What is recognition? Recognition means knowing. It's a cognitive ability. We all have that cognitive ability. Even if I speak, that is an object and the knowledge of an object. That means that is a thought process and the knowledge of a thought, plus consciousness. So even when I do not speak, our mind begins imagination. Oh, that imagination is an object. And then the knowledge of an object plus consciousness is my experience. Fact is that I only experience the consciousness. I don't experience any object. We have heavily conditioned our mind that I experience body, I experience pain, body, I experience sorrow. I conditioned my mind. And that very conditioning has created a false I. So my all perception and experience is based on the false I. That too does not exist. So with the consciousness, with the reference to the mind, when we see that I am the consciousness, that is known as the witness consciousness. It's very popularly used by the Buddha and a lot of other masters. It is known as the witness consciousness or the Sakshi. Another name is Vipassana. The word Vipassana means this is what you are, where you are. And we start doing Vipassana meditation. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. If you have any question, yes, you can talk about it. How are you, Stephen?
Thank you, sir. I'm good. Very, it was like two parts to that. But the first part was my mind spinning and then going around like a dog chasing his tail, trying to understand it and running through these different thoughts with the lesson and applying everything that we've learned in the past. And then when you talked about the mathematical equation again of experiencing consciousness, knowledge of object and the object itself, it really made sense to me. Because knowing what consciousness is and that's who we are, and then we look at the experience through our own interpretation or false interpretations or limitations or perceptions and so on and so forth. I'm like, okay, what we need to do is we need to focus this equation and understand that we've been, and you said it, in the latter part of the lesson is that we've been conditioned to focus on the object of knowledge and the object, where we should be focusing on the consciousness.
Because I'm searching, who am I?
That's exactly what I said. So in any situation is minus that. Then during my meditation, as I'm sitting there and I fall into this moment of, you know, the calmness, the no thoughts, the moments of that where I can say, wow, I'm in peace. Well, I'm now focused on the consciousness, and I am. And so it all came together for me to sit and say that, okay, I'm getting this. We need to shift this equation to my experience so that it's without, you know, that peace, that calmness is just lacks knowledge of object, and it lacks the object. So therefore, I'm just in consciousness, and it's great. So
beautiful explanation you have. That is how we have to share our experiences, because there is an understanding. You have understood it. And that is what I have started in the beginning. If I am peace, then only I can move to the state of the happiness. If the peace and the happiness is there, then I can say that I am in love. Now I'm in love, you know, emotional dependence, and I become crazy. All this crazy stuff. It has nothing to do with any kind of a love. Can I say I'm in pain? You know, wait, I will love you. Again, object, experience, knowledge of an object. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. My experience with this meditation, which has been similar to other meditations with similar lessons, is that when you can apply this awareness, all the stuff, right, all the objects, if you will, it's easy to take them less personally.
Yes.
It's easy to not be that. It's easier to not be them, to not be like especially the hard things, discomfort, stress, physical stuff.
It's hard thing, yes. It is hard because
create the separation.
Yes. Now, did you understand that it is a non-practice? No practice is required. But it doesn't mean that you should ask the same question, raise a doubt on Mondays and Thursdays session. I will also prove that practice is required. Because of nature of the mind. Very good, beautiful. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you. Good. What I have understood from this session is that the mind has to be purified to the extent where it can separate the existence from it.
Yes.
And this is where the practice is required, because without the practice we cannot reach to that state of purity. And no matter how hard we try intellectually, the object still sticks to the experience, and we experience the multiplicity instead of the singularity.
Yes, yes. And you rightly said, now you see that practice and non-practice complement each other in the journey of the self-discovery. They are not opposites. This is what Dennis is saying. We need to understand this point. Oh, that guy is teaching the meditation, it's a non-practice, go and listen to it. But your mind is already crazy. What you're going to listen? Nothing, you can't get anything out of it. So normally this is what happens in the world outside. Beautiful. Dennis, how are you? Sam?
Good. All the words you said and everything that everybody else said just reminds me how each practice and non-practice is a reminder of the knowledge.
Yeah.
What I am, getting rid of what I'm not, same thing.
Beautiful.
what I am, getting rid of what
Were
I'm
you
not.
promoting me doing meditation in an open space? A lot of people are coming and going.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. So you have already lost meditation practice. Very good. Continue to promote me. You are so good. You know, I love you. You keep on promoting me. So when you are promoting me, you are not meditating. You are not paying attention. You are not listening to me. I should be very straight, you know. How are you, Terry?
I can't really,
You can't really
well,
object. Knowledge of an object plus consciousness.
minus attention plus minus everyone has expressed itself
So clearly.
clearly. Yes, that is what I also.
Yes, that is, if you think in this way, then you are not the body and the mind, so there is no problem.
But a lot of minusing was going on in my mind. The constant
then we need lot of practices. That is why I used to give you 3 hours of practice when I used to come to you in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yes. I used to go to her house. Yes. Now it's too far, almost 3,900 miles. How are you, Ashok?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, ये similar to the Sakshi, like this Sakshi.
Vipassana. सब एक ही है.
हाँ जी.
नाम लो, whether you say Sakshi, you say witness, you say Vipassana. So mind, purest mind plus consciousness is witness, is knower, is Vipassana.
Yeah.
That is what we say the state of meditation is.
Good, sir. Thank you.
So please, Sam, please promote me so that, I'm hard of cash so that I will start at least, earning some money. People have their excuses, that they cannot pay me. So please help me. Do a lot of promotion. So which park it is? You were doing it. Which place it is? Which place it is?
I'm here. I'm in the Himalayas.
Oh, very good. So then nobody is going to come to me.